like to show you this example from chapter 9 of my book about WebAssembly, which is about converting this WebAssembly music instrument to a VST plugin that we should be able to run inside this audio plugin host or any other digital audio workstation, like for example Cubase or Logic. And let's start with this WebAssembly Music Studio, which is kind of, here you can code your instruments in this language called assembly script, and we can, for example, for this particular piano, we can just, for example, one parameter here, which is called dispersion, so that you can hear it's only controlled by code all the way. And also, just to try this actual example from my book, it's a completely different instrument. So let's go in here, and there is a source code here that we can copy, just like this, and we will go back to the browser and copy it like that and save. You can hear it's very different sound. And we can also tune this a bit. For example, let's change the filter here. So and now let's move on to actually convert this into a VST plugin. So what we will have to do is to export it as a WebAssembly module Wasm file. So we select this export format here, and we get a file. It's only 18 kilobytes, so that's very tiny actually, and it contains everything that is needed for this instrument to be generating sound in code. And now next part is that we will have to convert this into C, so that we can use that into our VST plugin code. So we will first start by moving this from our downloads folder. So we had this song Wasm file, and we will move it in here where we are standing. And then we will have to convert it to C, so we will use this command here called Wasm to C, which is from the WebAssembly Binary toolkits. So let's do that, and what happens then is that we have got some instrument file like this. It's a C source code that represents the WebAssembly binary. So we can also look at the WebAssembly binary actually. It looks like this. But this here is translated to this C code that you saw here. And this C code we can use when we are building a VST plugin. We can use it with this framework called JUCE, and here we have referenced all these functions, these methods from the WebAssembly C version. This wasn't converted to C. We have referenced here all these functions, and we can now, for example, use them in this rendering block of the plugin. So this process block, which is capturing the MIDI data, we are sending this into the WebAssembly instrument, and then we are also rendering the sample buffer, and we are copying the contents of the sample buffer back to the JUCE audio plugin output. So let's now build this instrument. So let's run the build here. And now we have a VST plugin, and we should be able to load it into JUCE. I will just refresh here, just load it again, so that we have it fresh all the way. There's the Wasm synth, and like that, connected to the audio output. And we can see we have the audio output settings here, very low latency setup now, and we should be able to play it. Just to make sure that we don't have anything going on here. We don't. So This is actually the output from here. Okay, click also here. And now we can also combine it with effects, other VST or plugin effects that we have. For example, this delay. Let's try that, and we just connect to here, for example, like that, and also this other one, and then down here. So let's also tweak the delay a bit. So now you can also hear that we can combine it with other plugins. So we have managed to convert WebAssembly music instruments into C and integrated it with JUCE to create a VST plugin that we can use in digital audio workstations for producing music. So that's it. You can read more about this in the upcoming book about WebAssembly, where I go into this in more detail. And there will be more videos, so thanks for watching and stay tuned for more.